The Mumps believe that we all have a handful of defining moments in our lives. Their number one defining moment was the night they met each other 16 years ago at a screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show in Vancouver. Dr. Frankenfurter had just declared a toast. Mum threw her piece of toast at the screen and hit Mupp in the back of the head. The rest, as they say, is history. They've been madly in love ever since. It has a happy ending, which I think we can all agree is the best kind of story. My number one defining moment doesn't have a happy ending. In fact, it hasn't even ended. The moment in question happened 2.5 years ago, on my first day of 7th grade. We'd recently moved to Toronto, so it was also a brand new school. Oh, and it was also my first school ever. Aside from a disastrous few weeks in kindergarten, I'd been homeschooled my whole life. But when we moved from Vancouver to Toronto, we made a family decision. It was time to get educated and socialised in an actual brick-and-mortar building filled with actual flesh and blood kids. Mum and Mupp, collectively known as the Mumps, walked me to Pierre Elliott Trudeau Junior School that first morning in September. They hugged and kissed me and cried a little right out front as all the other kids streamed past, which now that I think about it probably wasn't the best optics. What I remember most about entering that massive old red brick building for the first time was the noise. I'd been around other kids before, obviously. I'd had frequent outings and get-togethers with other homeschooled kids, but we're talking 10 to 15 kids at a time, tops. The halls of Pett Junior School were packed, with hundreds of kids shouting, laughing, banging locker doors, running, even though there were signs telling them to walk. My first instinct was to turn around and march right back out, but I thought of what Mupp had said the night before when I couldn't sleep. Remember, Will, new beginnings bring new experiences. So he kept moving. My pits were dripping with fear sweat by the time I found my classroom. Our teacher, Mr. Markovitz, stood by his desk. I can still picture him in his brown suit, the shoulders dusted with dandruff. He gave us an assignment. Write a letter to yourself. Describe who you are today. Then write a list of goals you hope to achieve by the time you graduate high school. Place your letter in the envelope provided, write your name on the front, and seal it. The letters will be locked into the school's time capsule. And remember, he continued, you can be completely honest. These letters are for your eyes only. They will be returned to you, still sealed, 6 years from now, on graduation day. I was determined to do exactly as I was told, so I was completely honest. After school, Mr. Markovitz carried the sealed letters from our classroom to the time capsule, which wasn't really a time capsule at all, but the safe in the principal's office. It was a short walk from our homeroom down a flight of stairs and to the left. But at the top of the staircase, according to a reliable eyewitness, Mr. Markovitz stopped to scratch his balls. This had a ring of truth to it, because, as we learnt that year, Mr. Markovitz scratched his balls a lot. He did it so much, a rumour spread that he had pubic lice. While he scratched, one letter fluttered, unseen, to the ground. Mine.